Hey y'all, this is Invasion. This Invasion animation. And here I am. I've actually made a whole bunch of progress on the comic. And you guys can actually check it out. I linked it in the pinned time-lapse. Why did I call it a time-lapse? The pinned comment section. And you guys could just go ahead and check that out right quick. I don't know why I said it like that. But yeah, you guys can just go check it out. The first episode is out, and you guys can get a sneak peek of the next episode here while I make it. But yeah, that's about it for what I wanted to say. Now, I don't really expect to get a lot of comments here or anything like that. So it's just gonna be chill, not much talking. Oh, sup hip, welcome to the stream. Yeah, this person may look like a nurse, but it's actually the doctor. And this is like after they assessed the bill information. So that's what I'm drawing right now, and I have a whole bunch of other pages to do. So yeah, I got all of that ready and waiting. So that should be just fine. And one thing that I like to do, I've heard other comic creators do it, but I have never bothered to do so myself. But it's actually a wonderful idea, and I wish I took it sooner, which was to just like do the outlines first and then go back and color. And yeah, that's a good idea, because I've been doing the outlines and then coloring per panel, and it's just easier to get into the flow of things when you're doing it the other way. This line is too thick. Oh well, it's gonna stay that way. So this is, yeah, let's do 4s. Actually, let's increase the frameage of this right here. Alright, so yeah. Oh, whoops. Back to the people tab, and that. Alright, that's fine. So actually, let's just stay in the people tab, because that's where it needs to be. That's where the things need to happen, where the stuff needs to be done. Yeah, that's the good stuff right there. So I got the tab right here. This is going to be their bill, and I forgot what number I had the bill be. I'm sure I wrote it down, but anyways, this is going to be just how they hold their little note system. But I do know I want it to be light green. But yeah, it is so hot today, and goodness gracious, the global warming. But like, the air conditioner is absolutely amazing in this place. But I hear that these Europeans, they're so high and mighty, they just don't want to use air conditioners. I think that's pure insanity. But to each their own. I guess they can have fun saving the planet or not doing anything about AI. Because I know they still have it in their country, and it's still blistering like the diseased wound it is. But yeah, that's just crazy to me. Plus, apparently, as an American, you know how much gun violence kills us, Apparently, during their like 2-week heat waves, the amount of people that die during that kills more people than gun violence. That has to be some straight BS, but if true, that is just insanity to me. That they would just allow that. I mean, they are better than our country. assuming you're American as well. So many other things. And yet that is the hill they choose to die on. Excuse me. It's just bonkers. Alright, so I burped. I still taste the acid in my throat. It's not actual acid, it's stomach acid. I guess it's more of a baby vomit. Alright. Baby barf, they call it. Alright, so got this right here. Just like talking while I do this, just to add a bit of like value for the folks that come by and just watch it afterwards, because I do get people to come by and watch after, which is pretty cool. Let's actually put this here. But yeah, I asked like Google a bunch of different questions on like how I can make categorize the comic, because like this comic has like, it's a thriller, it's a drama, it's like anything but a romance, which is good, because like so many romance stuff is about cheating and non-monogamy, and I just find that gross. Like, hey, that's your choice, that's just fine, but I think that if you love someone, you should stick with that person. I don't know. Maybe I don't know why that's a wild thought these days, but guess that's that. But yeah. And even if you do stop loving them, you owe them to just like stop the relationship, and you owe them to just be honest with them, because you spent so long being with them, and it's just not fair for you to do that. So that's why you should just be kind and just do that, because that would be the best thing to do. Alright, so but yeah, I stopped worrying too much about consistency. I also made this little comic here. It's kind of similar to my storyboards, but not really. So I think that's a pretty good thing right here. Okay, so. But yeah, I remember back in the day when I did like dual streams, and I did do dual streams. But like, back when they first introduced the function, I should say, the dual streams, they just did not seem to. The dual streams actually seem to work, I should say, but now it doesn't, because like I don't see the numbers fluctuating at all. It's still the same 3 folks watching currently, and like I know how it is with those vertical streams, because the numbers fluctuates constantly, and since I'm streaming to both, it usually does that. So yeah, I'm not too sure what the case is with that, but who knows. But yeah, just basically working on the comic, and then you guys are just getting a sneak peek into this large update, because I like to update it every 2 weeks, but based on the amount of work I've been able to do on the comic, I think I could probably move that down to 1 week. I just want to prove it to myself that I can, because like, let's say by this Monday, the Monday coming up, I'm able to do like, say 10 more panels. Excuse me. Then I'll just consider that a win, and then maybe I can just decide to do an update on the comic every week instead of every 2 weeks. Because I did that because I don't think I can do it that fast. Sub 8 Green, welcome to the stream. I am doing fine today. It is 107 degrees outside today. Isn't that wild? It's just crazy. These folks got global warming going in full swing. I forget the name of the people who did that song, but it's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Because everything seems to be going downhill in various directions. We got the climate emergency. The emergency been going on for like years now, but Sup Raza, welcome to the stream. How you doing? I know, yeah, it's really crazy with the climate change, and like it's basically the end of things. And I don't mean to be all doom and gloom, but it just feels like this is it. And I know, folks been saying that for years, centuries, heck, even millennia, I'm sure. But it just feels different now. And I guess the difference is, hey, it's me currently saying it and I am currently alive. But with everything that's going on with, like, we got climate change that's nothing being done about for the most part. We got whatchamacallit, I don't know why the name escapes me when I spend every fiber of my being hating it. AI. We also have all of these wars, but that's normal. I'm not really scared of the wars because, like, look at it. It's on, it's off, it's on, it's off, and that's like every single peace deal I'm talking about. On, off, on, off, on, off. It's like those clap on, clap off commercials, if you remember that. And that's just crazy to me. So, I don't really pay attention to like war updates anymore. And when I do, I just don't really care because, you know what, that's the incorrect word to say. I do care, don't get me wrong. But I just don't really have any, like, hope in it being over. I hope that it will be, but I just find myself not being able to think that it will. Alright, so got them being handed the bill for the medical stuff, and that's another thing. Since everything's being more expensive, this comic is actually like a love letter to capitalism. It's going to be the main character doing all kinds of stuff because he's in debt to the hospital because his children got critically injured. And it's basically kind of gonna be like a John Wick kind of thing if John Wick was only 2 inches tall. But it is going to be quite crazy. Alright, so I usually have these little storyboards that I have, but I'm flying in blind here because, well, I did most of this already. So yeah, I actually like to segment it apart by 9 pages, but right now I'm doing it by 5. So I think I'm going to have like both. I'm gonna have like write-in on this later, first of all, but right now I want to finish the outlines. So I'm going to have both the main character, his name is Lavender, and I believe his wife's name is Celosia. I prefer to like name the fairies like after types of flowers. So that's what I'm going to like do, like just follow as the naming scheme. So we have this, and then just have them like holding the bill together. I think that would be a cool little thing there. But yeah, it was nice of you to stop by, Raza. Alright, so we got this right here. Let's go ahead and put this and that, like so, and then let's also do that. And that's basically, I think people will be able to get that it's the same like Lavender guy the entire time. But like, I don't really draw him the exact same way, but it's like the same vibe. Like for example, like this is how he looks most of the time. But he also, if you zoom in on this, he looks a little different. Like his hair, his head is more of like an oval shape. His eyes are more of an oval shape. And yeah, it's basically a little bit different than there he is there. Like his lips is more synced in. Like it would usually be something like that, but I don't want to like stress out about that all that much. Because this comic it's for fun. I do it like this in case I want to like print it later, but it's gonna be on the usual scrolling format. Excuse me. Yeah. Y'all ever just hawk up a loogie, as they call it, and it just stay near chokes you out? That happens sometimes. It didn't happen this time, but it was a heavy one. But so just spat it into a napkin. Is that oversharing? Yes, but when you run out of stuff to talk about, oversharing is almost a guarantee. This is also like a thought bubble. I decided to like make the characters like that. And I really like how the ears look, and I was actually thinking about making like a in-universe comic that I can post like every 2 days to like advertise for this. But I don't know how that would work out. I think I would probably restrict it to just 4 panels, while the regular ones are in the teen amount of panels, so like 15 to like 20 or so panels. That's like my goal for it. And I think that would be a pretty good enough goal. Alright, so I made her head a bit big. Alright, so that is... But yeah, as you can see, I have no guide. I'm just doing this to have no guide. And I'm just basically doing this blindly. Not really liking how that looks. I like how she looks in this other one, so I may copy and paste. I'm not gonna like copy and paste it down there, but I'm just going to do that, but I'm gonna like redraw it. Stuff are just awkwardly said here sometimes. Oh my, they actually have it. Dang. Showing everything on that TV. Ooh, she just slapped the heck out of her. That's what she got for stealing her man. Alright, anyways. Yeah, that's probably random since you can't see it, but something weird is going on. Oh, oh, the guy just started just taking a random picture with the one that got knocked the heck out. Alright, but hey, that's what she gets. She shouldn't be doing that. And in fact, I was talking about that earlier. So that kind of ties into what I was saying. Because on top of that, you gotta deal with someone who may just knock you right on your butt for doing that. And that is very justified, in my opinion. Oh, I like that song. Alright. So we got this here. This here. Alright, so like each comic book, like the physical copy. 1 second. Oh, that's the stuff right there. Right, anyways, one more. There we go. Okay. Oh, one last one. Yeah, that song. Well, not that song specifically. That one is made by a cover guy, and he does really good covers of music, and that is one of my favorites. and it's from a game called The Outer Wilds. In fact, I actually recently made a painting of it, and the painting turned out pretty well. I'm a beginner painter, and I think it looked very good. And I may actually make a couple other paintings of it too. And the woman in my comics, they're just gonna have these eyelashes so you can tell them apart. Because, which is weird because males, they're the ones who have bigger eyelashes. But anyways, that's how it is in real life. But in fiction, the women do, which is fine. But since I tend to have same face syndrome when it comes to drawing, that's a good indicator when it comes to drawing genders. I can draw people that look different good enough. But, yeah, when it comes to drawing genders, it's a big yikes right there. Excuse me. Yeah, that kind of worked out right there. So let's just do that. And then let's just have her antenna go kind of like this. And let's see if we can make at least 3 panels this stream. And if I can, that would be great. And I also want to finish the 1 panel on the top. And then maybe, just maybe, we can do like a whole read-through of this one. Alright, Alright, see, as you can see here, I am not good at drawing dress. So, yeah. So let's just do that here and this here. Alright, that's a bit long, so let's do that right there. So, that's good. But yeah, the arms, they change size a bit too much. I don't think anyone will notice it, but if no one really notices it that much, then that will be just fine. I should have put this in the description too, but that's whatever. I could just maybe put it in the comment section when this one's done. Alright, so let's draw him holding it. So I got these little fingers right here. So put that there. Let's put this here. And yeah, I need to also animate a bit more often because like I've been focused on the comic book, and Well, I just really haven't had like the motivation to animate, mainly because like whenever I animate something, like it barely gets like any views whatsoever. Like far from my heyday, like I regularly got some videos like making, like getting like a few hundred views a day. But like whenever I post something new, basically nothing. Just like 20. And yeah, that's good and all, but like I get 20 from just about anything I post, and I just don't really see why why that would be. So I just go ahead and just do that instead. Because animating is quite a bit of work. And it's work that I enjoy, but it's still like rather tedious. Right, so all right, so I think a funny gag would be like they just see the bill like that. So I should flip those around. Yeah, that would be better. Alright, let's get rid of this gentleman. Just this gentleman is the one who helped save their lives. I thought I was gonna have a guard in the scene, but I do not. So delete he goes. Alright, so actually no, he might be useful in the next scene. In fact, let's copy this over because I actually have this ready here, and just go here, go to people, and just let him be right over there. Right now, let's get rid of him. You can use this one as a happy median, like in one of those puzzle games where you have to like slide stuff over to form a picture. Those are interesting games. I've never really like played them myself. Why is this bigger? Alright, let's just do that. It's not like it's that important. Folks will just not take a second look at it. Oh, and I also found a new key, a new Outer Wilds song, which is really, really long. Nice Outer Wilds compilation music. And this one is done by a piano player, and they are an awesome piano player. I didn't record it yet, but I will, and maybe that can be a 10 by the next stream. Could be interesting. Alright, so got that right there. Let's actually put a little outline around them. So let's do that. Then I could just redo that whatever part of the body it was. Looked at your last comic. It was great. Thank you. I'm glad you like it, Aped Green. So, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab a bit more of their body and then do that. Yeah, this works much better. And let's just have a little line for right there. And that's good. But yeah, I have like the brand new version of the comic right there, like in the comment section for like any of you to read whenever you feel like it. Then like when this stream turns into a video, I will like put it in the comment section too if I remember to. And someone asked if the comic is available here, so I think I might do like a reading of the chapter that's out and post it as a video for the viewers here. Because hey, you gotta go where the folks are, and the folks, they are here for the most part. Alright, so I did 3 panels right now, which is good. That was my goal, and that is exactly what I desired. So let's actually see, what do I want here? Alright, let's get the color of this one's here. As you can see, this is the doctor, and she has a gold tooth. That's the best I could draw the gold, but yeah. I'm not really good at drawing gold, but that's like the best I could do. Looked better last night, but yeah, that's just looked better last night. Hopefully by tomorrow it looks better. Okay, so good as it used to last night. So, got that right there, right here. But yeah, all of this is nice with some nice relaxing music. And it's just like a nice little time right here. And hopefully, I should have titled the stream this, like, come do art with me. Just to, like, inspire other artists to, like, just come by and work along with some common music. I think that would be a nice little thing to do. Alright, so let's have that, and that will be it for the Doctor for the foreseeable future. And then the story is just gonna follow Lavender and I guess maybe his wife too. It would make the story was about him like becoming a tooth fairy and doing all kinds of messed up things to the humans in order to take their teeth because they're not supposed to be seen by the humans, and so doing stuff to them is out of the question. But since he's extremely desperate, I could probably like play into that and like have them basically become a maniac, and we can see like how far they're willing to go in order to like save the lives of their loved ones. I think that would be an interesting thing to tackle, because that's going to be like the basic premise of this comic. Because later on in this comic, he's actually going to like try to kill some humans. So that's going to be quite wild. Alright, so let's just do that, because that part doesn't matter too much. So that is good like that, good like that. You know, apparently, I've learned recently that some artists, they like to color in, well, some digital artists, I should say, like myself, like to color it in each individually. I just like using the paint bucket fill tool because that's just the best option to me. But to each their own, I prefer it this way. So let's do that. So I'm late. I'm currently camping right now. That's cool. Oh, welcome to the stream, Maddie Drew. So we got this. Oh my, I've made it brown. Here we go. So all of that there is good. Oh my, wait, you're camping now? It's like a heat wave. Like, hopefully it's cooler where you are. It's like I think it was 107 degrees where I am. But hopefully it's better where you are, because I do not think it would be good camping weather. Like, unless I heard, like, the forest, it naturally cools down the place, like with all the trees and the water and the moisture. But I'm not sure if that would be the case with, like, weather this severe. But hopefully it is, because I don't really know. Alright, so we got this right here. Let's go ahead and just do this with the arm. Just have it go like so. I like birds. And anyways. So let's just do a full erase on that. There we go. Alright, so almost everything was in order. Just gotta do that. And now everything is in order. It's hot, but I got a camper, so I got air conditioning. Oh, that's good to know. You know, I talked about this earlier, but apparently, like over 1,000 folks died from this heat wave alone in France. And if that's true, that has got to be just wild. And I also heard that apparently the, you know, like with all the gun violence that happens in our country, like the heat waves that happen like annually in Europe actually kills more people than the gun violence does. I'm not sure if the exact length of time, if it's just the gun violence in 1 year. Well, and there's no way it's throughout all history. It has to be just 1 year. Alright, so, but yeah, it just kills more folks on average, so that is just insane. Alright, so, but yeah, and they refuse to get air conditioning, and I don't understand why that is. I guess it's due to some kind of moral argument, but you would have think that would have went out the window when they started like introducing AI into everything, because like Europe is also like one of the main like countries that's trying to like push it on everything. So that's what I'm wondering about personally. And let's see, that is right, that's right. And let's put the skin here. The fairies, their skin comes in like various colors. It comes in 5. I forget which color exactly. Like these guys are pink. And so that's good there. And I know I forgot a patch of green, but that's fine. But yeah, this is kind of gonna be like a sneak peek of it. So we got this here, this here. Yeah, this is my comic. I've made a lot of progress on it. I think like the part that I'm working on now would be like the 7th part, but it's still like the same comic book. This one here would technically be, let's see, this here is page 5, so 9 plus 5, that's 14. So this is page 14 of the comic book, like in its entirety. So yeah, comics, they take a while. And so basically finished everything. I gotta go back and detail it. As you can see, this is their son. His face got ripped off by a praying mantis. Now, I don't know if that's going to be considered excessive gore, because like there was blood at the time. He's all better now. But like when it was actively being ripped off, I don't know if that would fly on the comic website. But I have another place to post it, which is Newgrounds, and that isn't so annoyingly strict about it. So originally this guy was going to die and it was just going to be his sister that lived, but I just, due to like some comments, like when I tried to gauge it in past live streams, I think they just really wanted me to just let the boy live, so I'm going to let the boy live. And he's even in a better condition than his sisters. She got various organs of hers ripped out. Alright, so I got all of this right here. But yeah, it's going to be like one heck of a catalyst for the story to get going. And then sanity is going to like be spread out throughout like various parts. Let's put that down to just 2 brushes wide. And let's go here. Okay. Yawning because I'm a wee bit tired. Alright, so let's come up with a nice color. Like, I just don't really see them having bleach around, so I don't see why they would have like completely white paper. So just gonna give them one with like a nice greenish hue to it, kind of like wasps have. And I already know what I want the name of this hospital to be, and I want it to be like Nightshade Hospital, because I think that would be funny. Alright, so we got that there, that here, that's the good paper. Is a board. And there we go, green and that. And I'll do like a quick reading after I finish coloring this, and then I can move on to the next segment. Actually, no, I will move on to what was that? Oh yeah, here it is. And I have a specific color for the eyes of every fairy. Each iris is blue, each eye is slightly light blue, or I should say slightly blue-white. But like, I didn't want it to be like perfect white, because that would be like, it's how I do it for like the human characters, but I want these to be more insect-like, so I want it to seem like their eyes are like impacted or fragmented, just different enough to separate them from like any other creature. Like a subtle, easy to miss one, but if you notice it, it will be an interesting turn. Alright, let's fill in the details with this one. Wom, wom, wom. Wom, wom, wom. Wom, 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 wom. Okay, so we got that right here. But yeah, this is a nice stream just to like chill and relax. I wish I put it in my stream like to just like, hey, come do art with me, because it would be nice if like other artists just felt like doing this too. Like it was like an inspiration to them. That reminds me of Art Fights. Like I tried to log on to their website, but it did not work out very well. But that was just unfortunate. But like if I ever go into the woods, one thing that I would like to do, I don't know why I keep stuttering. I suppose I just do that sometimes, which is unfortunate. But one thing that I would like to do, but I'm not educated on the matter, and it's kind of too late to get educated on the matter, because like people keep on releasing AI books, and I just feel like it's only a matter of time before YouTube says, hey, you're not allowed to look at the dates of the video anymore, because YouTube is making some idiotic decisions. Like for example, they removed the dislike button from the shorts feed, which is ridiculous to me. And I know folks can't see it, but I still think I deserve the right to dislike something if I didn't like it. Excuse me. But no, they're just taking away yet another right that we as the viewer have. And I feel like it's only a hop, skip, and a jump until they do that to the good old live action stuff that you are watching right now. Of course, I don't like dislikes, but dislikes are very useful. Now, I know they can't be seen anymore, but with YouTube extensions they can, but if they delete the ability to even do it, I just highly doubt YouTube extensions can even fix that. So, here we are here. This is an old woman, by the way. Alright, so got this and that. Alright. And then we could just do a nice read through of it. So let's just do that. I think I'm just gonna give him a nice mount to form with. Alright, so let's make the brush size bigger to 9. So, got all of that right there. I like the really like cool rustic aspects to the Outer Wilds. Like a lot of people describe it feeling like camping in space, but it kind of is. Not much of a camper myself, but like when it comes to roasting marshmallows with everything like that can catch on fire, that's a really cool little aspect of it. Alright, so for no good reason, that chin, it reminded me of DMX. Now, for those of you that don't know, DMX is a rapper who actually turned into a preacher, and he became like a really good preacher because like he did all kinds of songs like Lord Give Me a Sign and stuff like that, and that's a good thing that he like became a preacher. Like he's always like cussing up a storm. Now I know most preachers don't do that, but like he keeps it like fresh and interesting. I just like that about him. And I feel like he actually converted like a lot of people, which is really good for the cause. Now, let me see. But another pretty decent rapper is, what's his face? I don't remember his name, but he did a song for the end of a movie called Tropic Thunder. And it's Ludacris. I bit my tongue. Oh well. Okay. And to my knowledge, he did not go into any religion specifically, but he really is quite a good rapper. I'll give him that. So, got that right there, and this right here. And I don't think I'm gonna have an iris around their eye for this moment, because that's like a nice shock to them. Nice surprising jolt, I should say. So let's do that. Alright, so let's just get the antennas color. Because the antennas, they do have a special color. That color is like really dark purple, I should say. I should have some fairies with that hair, because that hair looks good when it's really dark purple like that. But I want them to be kind of like realistic and like blend into stuff. I think that would just look better blending. Yeah. Maybe I can have like a night, like darkness type of area. Let me just do like a quick prototype of one. Alright. Oh, that looks decent enough. Probably try and like, could probably use this in a different panel, maybe like for $1 or something. So let's leave that there. Music is a bit too quiet right now, so yeah, I have to do something with that one too. Her sign is a bit tilted, but that should be fine. Right now, this gold tooth looks a little more like gold, which is good. But yeah, I should have said something earlier, but I actually have the comic in the comment section where you can just click it and go and read. I was thinking about like having like racism in the story, but I decided not to. So, but yeah, I made entire textures, which is good. So I think I'll just go ahead and add some. Alright, so there we go. Oh, right, right. Let's just put that there. So that's good. And I'll just do this. Alright, but yeah, that's a good one right there. Achieve tree, which is good. My eyes feel so sleepy for some reason, and I do not know why. But yeah. Well, you know what? I promised to read through. Let's just do that. I can't remember if I did this one at the start of the stream, the one where the note is actually exchanging hands. Probably did. Then again, I probably had it not there after. Right, so I think I'll go back and like do the detail after as well. Yeah, this could be. Oh, this is kind of similar to the idea I had in mind for a pixie. This isn't like a dark. I was thinking this was a dark fairy, but I wasn't going to make it like an evil fairy or anything like that. Oh, and it even has the eyes in the middle. I did not mean to do that, but it worked out very well. Alright, so that's good like that. That could be an interesting art style for like the side comic. I was gonna just make it look like this, because these were easy to draw, but what if I just make it like this? Like still have the same ears and everything, because those ears look good. Still have like this, but instead just have maybe like a baby character like this. Baby is getting into mischief. Baby kind of looks like an octopus, but this baby is a baby. Yeah, that could be an interesting little outline. I don't know. Probably won't even do the 10, but that's fine. You know what? Since I made it in the same style already, I'll just have this here, just to make it look even more sad. And let's just make him blue, just to signify this is his child. But gotta make the eyes look more like the style there. Let's just erase the other ear too. Alright, so that's good. I could see what I want for there. And yeah, this is like multiple episodes that's going to be had here, so let me read everything. This is the inside of the hospital. Yes, the hospital is inside of an old KFC bucket, or KFF bucket because it's Kentucky Fried Fishes in this universe. But yeah, it may also like work on this part a bit because there's not really enough bunnies here. There should be, and I want a bit more traffic outside of this hospital as well, because I think that would look pretty radical. And as you can see, there's the lid of the bucket right there at the bottom. Use that as the first floor, and they just made some wooden tiles, which is very abnormal for them. They usually wouldn't do that, but I guess they made a deal with the owls for them. Alright, so this is the hospital room. This is the daughter. Her name is Lupine, and as you can see, she has a mosquito injecting IV fluid into her. The mosquito is dead, but they have that so that she can, like, stay alive. And so, how much will this cost? Do you really want to know? Yes, I do. This is going to give you a surprise. Based on the injuries, such a high price, I suggest you simply sell us their remaining organs and say goodbye. How could you say, like, I wanted it to seem more sad, but then he kind of looks like he's ready to fight the doctor, and I think that's just funnier to me. So, I decided to just leave it like that. The doctor looked like she's ready to beat him up too. Never mind, how much will this cost exactly? Well, for replacing organs of the girl, like the liver, intestine, stomach, and the all varieties, not to mention the hospital stay, renting, and holding the room, and possible extra fees for high-quality fairy organs. It will cost 1.2 million bits, which is their currency, for the girl. As for the boy, and as you can see, he is sobbing in the corner just a little bit. And I meant to be cutting the. You know what? Let's just do it around, and then I could just do the detail after. And as for the boy, just the face transplant. Don't worry, it will be half off. Get it? No, okay. It will be half priced. And I know it's a woman's voice, but I don't feel like doing a woman voice right now. Alright, so, because my throat is hurting a wee bit. In fact, I should probably stop because it's hurting, but I'm going to keep it going for a bit longer. Only 20 bits. We can't do much about the eye, sorry about that. We can't afford that. We can barely afford Condia's treatment. Yeah. And this here, the boy is Condia. Girl is Lupine. I forgot the wife's name. Oh yeah, Celosia. That's her name. Alright, we have insurance. Would that make it cheaper? Now, some of you would probably notice that the healthcare is like insane in this universe, and it basically mimics real life. Like I said, it's kind of like a love letter to capitalism. Anyways, that is the insurance price. You might be able to reduce the price with sponsors. The missing eye socket is a great ad spot. Could cover 2% or so of the price. Can you imagine just injecting ads into the eye sockets of injured people? I suggest you take it to the hospitals, for we will be charging extra. Why is there an extra fee for the hospital being full? Let me just add that there before I forget. So let's make this into 5s. But yeah, why is there an extra fee for the hospital being full? And then that's when it's going to get into that imaginary part right there. Well, we would charge extra until a patient is unable or unwilling to pay. So there's that guy with his child right there. Once that happens, and other patients that can pay will get the room. And when there are vacant rooms available, the extra fee will go away. And then that is just that. Alright, so let's go to the under bubble. I used to do this in the same bubble, which was a headache, and this saves a heck of a lot of time. I must say, just having an under bubble area. The under bubble sounds like a evil bubble. Like that dirty bubble from SpongeBob. And yeah, I hope people don't really need it, neat or anything like that. And back, I had to get set up in my camper. Alright, welcome back. And so we got all of this right here. And then let's go back to people. By the way, 2 minutes ago, I did a read through of this whole comic area right here. I'm gonna go through it again, but I'm not gonna read anything. You could feel free to pause and read while I just work on some of the details. But yeah, I did a whole read through of it just a few seconds ago, or a minute ago or so. And I also have a link to the first ever episode. And if I can if I'm able to do, say, 10 more panels by this coming Monday, I might change the schedule from every 2 weeks into every week, because I think that will be more manageable. Well, 2 weeks is more manageable, but if I know that I can do every week, I'll probably just do every week. The folks come to expect that, but I think I would probably do it. Because why not? It's just nice. I hope you're doing good today, by the way, Invasion. I am doing great today, and I hope the same for you, Maddie Chu. I like the kazoos. Let me up the volume a bit. Alright, so let me just go ahead and... Oh, that's... eye sign is a bit too long. Alright, that's better. Alright, so all of that. Then she hands them the bill. The bill is blank right now. But now I know it's cost 1.2 million, so let's just put that. Let's put it in light and shadow, just so it's nice and movable. Alright, so let's have the number all the way down here. Wonder if bits could fit. It cannot, so 1.2 million will just have to do. Alright, how's those map parts? You're still gonna work on my map, by the way, just reminding you. Yeah, I will. I haven't been doing too much animating lately because, like, whenever I complete an animation, it doesn't really get as many views as it used to. Alright, so I think... Let's see. Yeah, let's have Bill go down here. Let's put we'll now just have this plus 100 tip. I think that would be like better up here, which is why I had it before, like infusing it with the page, because it would have been just harder. I had another map in mind also. I haven't been able to work on anything. I've been busy with life since, well, art class I joined recently, and church and youth group, and, you know, camping. I think like camping would be a pretty cool place to do art. Like, you just don't have to do digital art out there. You can just do some art for yourself, like with a nice little sketchbook. I have a sketchbook, and I also did a painting recently. Excuse me, and I think the painting came out very good. Excuse me, it was of a Heartian from the Outer Wilds, and like the same music that's being played right now. It's just one of them roasting a marshmallow. So, like, this is just a few second, like, rendition of it. It looks much better the other way, but, like, this is just an example of how the painting looked. But yeah, that's basically an example of it. I did bring my drawing stuff, sketchbook, and other stuff, so good idea. Thank you. I remember when I went on vacation, I bought like a whole sketchbook with me and like used it as an opportunity to practice on like my realism, and then I could also practice on my stylization. And I thought that was like a pretty valuable thing to do. Right, what am I doing? I should be working on the comic. Alright, but yeah, that's basically how it looks. Well, let's just draw like a little tin here of him holding the marshmallow. But yeah, that one took like 1 hour to do, like the painting of it. Because you gotta think very, very carefully on where you want to place everything. Because it's very, very hard to, like, just keep it. You know? So, yeah, that's basically a rough idea of it. I'm not gonna paint it because, just cause. Yeah, I'll leave the room there for it. So like when I look for, because I based it off of like actual prices for like what it would be in real life. So yeah, that's what I did. Alright, so let's actually take this and copy it. Now it's fairly difficult to see these right there, but maybe I could change the color a bit. That wouldn't really help much. That didn't really help much. So let's try that. And that didn't do anything. Let's try hue and saturation. Alright, that's fine. So, alright, I'll just leave that like that. Let's go back to people. But yeah, I think like drawing in the woods could be relaxing, but you gotta really pay attention to your surroundings because someone could just sneak up. Like that's why I don't go to the woods. I'm just concerned about other folks showing up. I'm not really concerned too much about the animals. Don't get me wrong, they could be a concern, but I just trust the animals more than I trust the humans, ironically enough. And so yeah, I'm just very concerned to be in the woods. But that's just me. So each segment in their antenna like shows their age. So this fairy is actually in her 50s, or the main character is in his 30s. So yeah, that's just a interesting little fact right there. Alright, so got that right there. But yeah, I didn't do her from the get-go because this would just be a lot to do. And I knew I could just do it later. One really good movie is a movie called Mars Attack. Doubt any of you heard of it, but it's an amazing movie. You should check it out if you have the chance to. But yeah, that movie is basically just a star-studded cast of... He's gonna start talking, so I'm gonna skip him. Okay. I'm gonna leave the volume up like that, because why not? But yeah, it's a star-studded cast that basically stars in your run-of-the-mill alien invasion movie, but it's just actually good. This is way better than Independence Day. And I hear that apparently it came out around the same time. But yeah, Independence Day just did not do it for me. And so we got all of that right there and put that there. Now, tool and tray. There we go. I'm gonna try to remember to like have them all tick upwards for the most part, or at least in the same direction. That would be a good thing to do. Gonna take me a sip of water. I was gonna wonder why I had this, like, because, and then I answered myself before I even said anything. It's because otherwise it would look like horns, and I'm not really trying to make them look like horns. So I don't want them to be horns. So like having them have like this kind of mark-like appendage, it's just a good thing. Just do this real quick. Always remember to save frequently what you work. But I also was thinking about making like a comic book version of Cryptic Adventures of Chloe and Caleb. in order to advertise the new one. Well, not new, but the animated version. I think that could be an interesting aspect to it. So that is good right there.
Bored. These games are starting to feel like chores.
So yeah, I have to look back at the footage of this because I think I did 4, either that or I did 3. Trying to look back and see. By the way, the stream thumbnail is the thumbnail for the comic. So yeah, that's good. Alright, so yeah, I only did 3. I did the coloring, so maybe I can count it. Yeah, why not? I'll count it as 4. That's a relatively easy draw. Alright, so it's been streaming for an hour 40 minutes. I think I'm going to probably do a few more. A few more minutes, I should say. The rest is going to be right up here on this panel. That's the bunny that saved him. The jackalope, I should say. And he actually needs his leaf back. Right, now we have the plus sign. This time it's made of flower petals. And that's basically the side of their whatchamacallit, their ambulance. And so it's that right there. Alright, so. But yeah. Was going to stop here, but decided, yeah, I'll keep it going for a little while longer. Let me make this leaf a tad bigger. That's more like it. So that's a fairy next to this one here. So let's just have one fairy go kind of like this. I wonder if I can make this part, like the hospital part, into like a time lapse or something. It would be kind of pointless because I didn't record the rest of it, so guess not. This is kind of like the parking lot where they have the bunnies. The jackalopes, I don't know why I keep calling them that. I should move this guy over due to the page count. Because if it's ever on a page, it's gonna F it up completely. So, right there should be a nice sweet spot. Should have a bunch of pre-drawn fairies that I could just copy and paste into here. So, and even though it's almost there to the 2-hour mark, had like a bunch of topics to talk about. But I'm out of stuff to say. Keep nearly falling asleep. Alright, I'm gonna keep going. I think I'm gonna make this one a slightly darker bunny. So just slightly more vibrant. So got all of that right there. By the way, this here is an amulet for the fairies. By the way, I got the comic book pinned in the live chat because the first episode is out already. Hopefully you guys enjoy that about it.
Now it's time for revenge until every single world cowers in our wake.
By the way, that's how big the fairy is. I used that as a reference. And this could have made it normal size to show that this is a cast. Just 3 more minutes. I don't want the stream to get too long, and I'm already barely holding on as it is. Alright, so just gonna do that here, this here. Those are his ears, and why not? Let's just give him some spiky here. Alright. Oh, I still have the color picker here. Alright, let's make this another pink person, but let's give them red hair. It's 200. Even though I got a decent amount of viewers right now, I'm still gonna go ahead and end it. If you enjoyed this, be sure to press the like button. I think I want even more traffic out there, plus I want to fully name it. I think we're gonna name it Nightshade Hospital, but I should probably look up if that's a real one, so I don't throw any shade at them and act accordingly. Until next time, this is Invasion Animation. Like the video, be sure to check out my comic book if you haven't already. It's right there in the chat. It should be pinned. And until next time, this is Invasion Animation signing out. Goodbye.